what are you doing with your kids and social media? Do you have limits? Or how
Yeah.
are you controlling that? I can't imagine being in middle school with Instagram. That sounds like hell to me.
I mean, do you want to, does anyone, yeah, do children need to be that conscious? Again, that mirror, it's not necessarily a true mirror before they've actually found who they are and feel who they are and walk by a real mirror and actually go, oh, I look how I feel. I feel how I look. This is a true representation of me. What I'm putting out is reverbing and coming back to me in simpatico. Well, you get in the IG world, you're not getting that. Again, it can go inflated or it can go deflated. It can go into the asset section or the debit, but it's not usually true.
Hmm.
And to put that on a child where, I still work in my work that I do, again, at 51, I've always been trying to close the gap between what is I want to do and what are you actually receiving? There's been a gap at that time to my life all the time. I do it literally in movies. What I want to do, and I'm going, that was the take. And the director goes, no, come over here and have a look. And I'll look at the monitor and go, oh, geez, that does not look like what I intended to do. Now, that either means I didn't do what I intended to do, or the camera wasn't placed in a way that it was received that way. So it wasn't a true impression. So I'm trying to close those gaps. Children today with IG and stuff, there's always a gap to the upside, to the inflated side, or the debit side, and that's dangerous, tough territory to navigate when you're just trying to find yourself. I know with our kids, I don't want our children to see something in a movie or a TV show that they don't have some context of understanding how that would work in life. I don't want them to learn it for the first time through a fictional representation in someone's storytelling. I want them to understand that, oh, that's how life could be. I don't want them to see a sex scene until they understand what sex is, for instance. I don't want them to learn that and have those questions, seeing it for the first time outside of what me and their mother can try and teach them. Or I want to be the one saying, no, let's have a look at this book. This book explains it really well in a true and healthy and constructive way. That's how I want to be the first to give them that. That's hard to keep a lid on. It's a wild, wild west out there with kids, and they get online. They see something, the ads pop up. That looks good. And tapping on that does not take them where they think they wanted to go. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're down the rabbit hole. And like I said, I'm 51. I'm responsible. I have trouble with it.
Yeah.
What have you been doing the last 40 minutes? You came here for something deliberate and intentional. And 40 minutes later, you're so far from that, you actually almost forgot what you came in here to look for. So we're trying to tell them that the internet is like a neighborhood. That we're trying to tell them that when you go out, there's good and there's bad people that want to do good and bad things. And you can't trust everyone that's just waving, and said, hey, come over here, have some candy, and so we do put limits on it. We give them a time. They have, it's like screen time amounts they can have and not have. And then also trying to, now the challenge is like, well, all right, Levi, if you're making a song on GarageBand, true, that I'm going to say that that's more constructive than going online and checking stuff out. If you're intentionally going to use a tool, it's still technically screen time, but okay, so allow that. They have messages. They have about 5 friends, as well as their mother and their grandmothers that they can communicate with. We know those parents, and we know those kids. They don't, they can't buy anything, online with that unless it comes to me, and I have to be able to buy it. But we try to limit it, and we notice how much, I don't want them to do it so much that they forget loving to do a puzzle, which they also love to do. You know what I mean? It's like doing something analog that they like, and or playing a board game. Sometimes they get too much screen time, and that's like not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough of a buzz. It doesn't have enough lights and action and sound, and you're like, that can actually be kind of cool. You want to play dominoes? So I'm not trying to be and I got to check in. I'm 51. I don't want to be an old fuddy dud about it. I want to embrace these tools they have, but we're very conscious about where they go. And we've had a few slip ups. The kids have had a few slip ups that we found out about. And we try to let them know, hey, we kind of know if you're going to go somewhere where, or that question, that thing you typed in, son, we're not telling you it's a bad question to have, but we're telling you, we'd rather you come to mom and dad and let's talk to you about that question. You're not going to get in trouble for asking that question or wanting to see those things, but don't go there because there's a lot of bad artists in there. There's a lot of bad painters and they're going to show you things that are false. So just come to us and we'll sit down and find some true versions of what it is you're looking for and we'll talk about it. And you won't get in trouble, and they're like,